Welcome, I am Emir, and let's look back in hindsight. I love Dancing in the Moonlight. It's a simple, feel-good song. Not necessarily about romance though. Just about having fun. Intimately, of course. And it sounds nostalgic, beginning with that music box-like intro. But, plot twist, this innocent-sounding tune is not as innocent as it seems. I'm not implying anything sinister. On the contrary, Dancing in the Moonlight is a candle to light the darkness. What is that darkness? Let's talk about that. And let's talk about King Harvest. And in a future video, Top Loader. Both acts seem to be a one-hit wonder. But are they really? Are they really a one-hit wonder? According to the band's website, quote, King Harvest, formed in France in 1970, included Eddie Tuleja, guitar, Ron Altbach, keys, Rod Novak, bass, sax, and Wells Kelly, drums. The band recorded under various names in Paris, and after winning a rock contest as King Harvest, recorded their first album and added French bassist Didier Alexandre to the group. The band was asked to score the soundtrack to a film, Le Feu Sacré. Or is it Le Feu Sacré? I don't know. My French is a bit rusty. Please correct me. Which represented France at the Cannes Film Festival in 1971, where they performed nightly at the Juan Lepan Whiskey A Go-Go. Joined by Doc Robinson, keys, vocals, they were booked to open for B.B. King at the Olympia Theatre in Paris and headlined at the Speakeasy in London. In 1972, King Harvest teamed up with their producers Pierre Jaubert and Jack Robinson to record Dancing in the Moonlight, written by their old friend Sherman Kelly. And quote, according to Kelly, quote, I joined a band named Bofolongo with Larry Hoppen, later of Orleans, and my brother Wells. My original version of Dancing in the Moonlight was on the Bofolongo album Beyond Your Head, released in 1970, which featured my brother Wells on drums and Larry Hoppen on guitar and myself on lead vocal. After a stint with Bofolongo, playing around the USA, the band broke up in 1972. End quote. Yes, even the King Harvest version is a cover, or as we Filipinos call it, a remake. So, the Top Loader version is a cover of a cover, or a remake of a remake. Coverception? Remakeception? We have to go in deeper. Vito Tuxedo, that can't be his real name. That name's too awesome to be real. Vito Tuxedo. Anyway, he commented, quote, Sherman and I joined Bofolongo. Is it Boffa or Boffo? At the same time, June 1970, Larry Hoppen, guitar, and Dave Doc Robinson, bass, were members of the version of Bofolongo that recorded the Out of Our Heads album, the album whose cover is shown in the video, and they were part of the reformed group that Sherman and I joined. Dancing in the Moonlight was the first song we recorded for what was supposed to be the third Bofolongo album for United Artists Records, with all new original tunes by the new group. This isn't the first time United Artists appears in any of my videos, and spoilers, it won't be the last. Alas, some jackball, either our producers or someone at UA, decided that it would be better to put Dancing in the Moonlight on the Out of Our Heads album to boost sales of that album. Dancing was slated to be the big hit single for the new group, except that UA subsequently decided to slash their promotions budget. That's why almost no one recognizes the Buffalongo version of the song. UA didn't promote it, so most radio stations didn't play it. We recorded 4 or 5 great tracks for the new album, which remain unreleased. But that's another story. End quote. 1. Is it Buffalongo? 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 2. Again, I discovered more lost media. Buffalongos? Or Buffalongos? Third album. There's also this, which may never see the light of day. 3. Yes, that anecdote is from a YouTube video. What video is that? That's Buffalongo. Or Buffalongo? Their version of Dancing in the Moonlight. At least, that's not lost media. I listened to it. But, damn, that album art is creepy. My spine shivers at the sight of that. Get that away from me! I wonder how much the marketing department got paid for that monstrosity. Anyway, it's time for another original versus remake or cover. Buffalongo or Buffalongo? Their original sounds of its time. It sounds the 1960s. There are hollers to end the song. Why? I don't know. And the production is smoldering. This original reminds me of a loud concert, not a simple dance under the moonlight. The music doesn't really work with the lyrics. None of the intimacy and innocence in King Harvest's version. Speaking of King Harvest, how did they discover Dancing in the Moonlight? Their YouTube music account wrote in the comment section of Buffalongos. Yeah, I'm sticking with that. Original. Quote, this is the version Wells Kelly brought with him when he came to play with us in France. The rest is history. End quote. Well, that wasn't really helpful. Tom Eames on Smooth Radio. There's no reason for me to say it that way. I just wanted to. Smooth. He wrote, quote, Sherman Kelly's brother, Wells Kelly, then introduced the song to his band King Harvest, in which he was drummer. Released in the US, Dancing in the Moonlight became a hit and stayed high on the Billboard charts for 22 weeks. End quote. Before taking a deep dive into their quote hit unquote, let's take a look at their other songs from the album with the same name as their hit song. At least it's not named after the band. But still, I wonder how much the marketing department got paid for that brilliant name. Thankfully, the tracks are mercifully short. This is a breath of fresh air after reviewing very long albums. The Romantics, Fruitcake, and even After the Snow. Please subscribe and ring the bell to be instantly notified of Balik Tanaw /In Hindsight episodes. Please like and share this video and all my videos across social media. Do check out all of my other videos and comment. Please support the show on paypal.me/Balik Tanaw, where you can give out any amount you want, or on Patreon, patreon.com/Balik Tanaw. Patrons on Patreon get early access to videos, get to see their names at the end of each video, and get to request reviews of a movie, an album, a song, a television show, or even on one-hit wonders. Or, at the very least, they get exclusive access to posts, which no one else can. Lastly, thank you to my sibling G-G Arts for the microphone I used for this video. She also designed my avatar. Check out her work on the links in the description. Thank you. And now, what were we talking about? Lady Come On Home sounds like classic rock and roll. Pre The Day the Music Died, aka pre-1960. Before the We All Got Up to Dance, oh, but we never got the chance stage. I can't understand the lyrics. Either King Harvest needs to enunciate, or this is a case of smoldering production. I tried to understand the words, because just like modern English and the Romantics, there are no lyrics online. Error 404. Lyrics not found. But I painstakingly typed out all the lyrics of all the songs from the Romantics album for my video about that band. But no one's watching that, so it's not worth it. It simply isn't worth it. I can ask King Harvest for the lyrics, but they didn't respond to my tweet asking for an interview with them for this video. Oh well, papel. So, I won't be talking about lyrics for a change. Maybe someday. Back to the album. Motor Job has some hints of disco in the intro. I can hear the Bee Gees staying alive in there. The placement of this lyrics-free track is weird for me. It throws me off. Usually, songs like these go at the end, or as album filler, at the 4th or 5th track, not as early as the 2nd track. Roosevelt and Ira Lee is, just like the hit, a cover, this time of Tony Joe White's. This is another original versus cover or remake. White's version begins with some spoken word, before going into a mix of country music and pre-1960s rock and roll. At least it sounds like it would fit in with Austin Powers. The lyrics are also easily understandable. Meanwhile, King Harvest's version suffers from the same unintelligible lyrics / smothering production issue. It's also longer than the original. This is the longest track in the album, with a keyboard and guitar solo in the middle. And lastly, it sounds like disco. Hey, the cover has to be transformative. Although, there's no need to invoke transformativeness if fair use is not being argued. Just a caveat. What's the song about? In a swamp? Somebody once told me. No, not that swamp. Not that kind of swamp. In a swamp, There's two cats, the big one and the small one. The big one irally suggests something, and Roosevelt's, "Sure, let's do it." Irally says, "Let's have some bullfrogs." Roosevelt agrees. Roosevelt's a yes man / follower / no brain. Irally steps on a, quote, water moccasin, unquote. That's supposed to be moccasin, a water moccasin, a snake. I'm guessing this is just slang, just like that other 1970s hit, Convoy. I can't stand that song. Anyway, after kicking and screaming at maybe nothing, Irally says it wants chicken instead. That's it. I have no idea what this all means. Probably a metaphor. Irally dreams big, but ends up chickening out. You know, chicken? Nobody calls me chicken. Anyway, I don't know what Roosevelt and Irally means. I don't think even King Harvest does. They cut out white spoken word intro setting up the cat's backstory. She Keeps Me High has hints of mango cherries in the summertime. At the very least, they both feel laid back. Chill, relax. Don't lose your cool. Think I better wait till tomorrow is Beatles-esque. It sounds like and has the energy of Hey Jude. Or it's melancholic, just like Light Years by another Beatles-inspired band. Smile on her face. The smile on your face lets me know that you need me. Nah, it's not that song. That's another one-hit wonder? Endorig versus remake though. King Harvest's Smile on Her Face is another Beatles-esque song, even slower than the last one. And that's a yawn, if you can't tell. You and I was co-written by Ennio Morricone. Ennio Morricone? Please correct my pronunciation. Anyway, the composer of So what is a movie theme composer doing in a pop album? Well, this song was composed by Morricone. Morricone? For the Italian film Incontro. Figures. Marty and the Captain is a fast song, a breath of fresh air after a series of slow songs. I just don't like slow songs. I like the production here. I can understand the lyrics. Because of that, I thought, hey, won't it be fun if I talk about the words of at least this song? The singer tells the story of two old cats, Marty and the Captain. They're pirates, maybe? Arrgh. Not the first time pirates appear on my show. And spoilers, it won't be the last. They're thinking of retiring, but they just shrug. They'll just, still going. Marty and the Captain has a sing-along quality. But I have to be honest, I can't sing along to this. For one reason, and one reason alone. What the hell is this song about? Is this a metaphor for something? If it's supposed to be literal, I can't relate to Marty and the Captain. Their descriptions here are just basic. This won't even pass for a children's bedtime story. Is this song just a word salad? I can tell the last track is disco-esque, and that's the album. The hit sounds different from the rest. Dancing in the Moonlight, the album, is in the crossroads. A mix of 50s and 60s rock and roll with some disco creeping in. Dancing in the Moonlight, the song, sounds timeless and yet nostalgic. It doesn't sound dated, yet it sounds like it's looking back in hindsight. Who would have thought that the quote hit unquote would be the big-lipped alligator moment of the album? Where is the magic? Quote, Altbach's piano work, performed on a Wurlitzer electric piano, is part of the song's distinctness, along with both Dave Doc Robinson's vocals and the upbeat chorus harmony. End quote. The lyrics are easy to understand. Production is good. If you want me to nitpick, the way supernatural is pronounced throws me off. Supernatural delight. I have no other problems though. Again, I love this song, but there is a dark story behind this innocent tune. Dancing in the Moonlight is just like Pumped Up Kicks or 99 Luftballons. Goodbye, YT ad money. But there's no avoiding this. Sherman Kelly, in an interview from the Dutch Top 2000 Agogo, said, quote, I remember being hit really hard, and 5 guys were attacking us with baseball bats. So, I just remember getting hit again, and then losing consciousness. I found out later from Adrian that the leader raped her, and the rest were in line to rape her, and they put a towel over her head. And every time she would make a noise, they'd slap her. And she thought she was going to be raped by the rest of them and maybe killed. And then she said, there was this horrible animal noises howling, and apparently I saw fit to recover consciousness and attack them. I don't know how I could have. I had one arm dislocated and my ribs broken, my face all fractured. But I think I made enough noise to scare them off, which probably saved our lives. End quote. This isn't the first time I mention rape in Balik Tanaw / in Hindsight. I already discussed this in my review of Back to the Future. And I have repeatedly emphasized the importance of consent in my videos on the top 10 worst and best Philippine hit songs of 2019. No means no. Saying no is no reason to call someone, quote, ego, unquote. Kelly continued, quote, I remember the doctors were talking, and they said, well, was he gonna make it? And one of the other doctors said, I don't know. And I realized they were talking about me. For a while, I couldn't play in a band. It was too much. But I was writing some verse, and I took one of the verses that I wrote and sat at the piano, having had a glass or two of wine, and wrote Dancing in the Moonlight. End quote. So, this song, this happy, feel-good song, is an escape, a cathartic release. This song fits our present grim times. But Dancing in the Moonlight is also aspirational. It aims for something greater, to build a better world. That is something we can all do in our daily lives, pandemic or not. Dancing in the Moonlight is similar to another song I've talked about in Hindsight / Balik Tanaw, Della by Johnny Clegg. Both have similar themes. They are both intimate songs. They grew out of terrible circumstances, and they reflect what can and should be, rather than what is. King Harvest's cover peaked at number 13 on the Billboard Hot 100. Therefore, based on the definition of, quote, hit songs, unquote, from my old one-hit wonders, Dancing in the Moonlight is a hit song. So, King Harvest had one hit. Does that mean they're a one-hit wonder? King Harvest did not have any other hits. So yes, they're a one-hit wonder. What happened next? The band, quote, dissolved in 1976 to work with the Beach Boys, playing tours in the US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and England, and recording on Beach Boys, Celebration, and Dennis Wilson albums. End quote. I don't think they had anything to do with that Train record though. Disclaimer, I didn't say that. Train record. Todd in the Shadows did. Lead singer Doc Robinson died in 2012. Do you want me to review the other albums of King Harvest? Their first, I Can Tell, or their third, King Harvest, or their other albums? Or do you want me to talk about their work with the Beach Boys or other acts? Or maybe even of Boffolongo? Boffolongo? Please support Balik Tanaw / In Hindsight on Patreon. Stay tuned for my one-hit wonder on Top Loader. Subscribe and ring the bell so you won't miss once it comes out.